Hey guys, it's Klassicalkill here, and we're back with another episode of our Silver to Diamond series. This is going to be our episode 31, and currently we are sitting around Emerald at 35 LP. You can kind of just consider Emerald to be like the old Platinum. They added an extra tier because they wanted to make people feel better, essentially. So we're facing up a Kha'Zix, and Kha'Zix is actually quite a really hard matchup for us. And I had the idea to go and invade their top side through here because it's not often checked. So I pinged my team, let's come through this top side, maybe we can find a pick, and we look and pay attention, you'll see that it pays off in the end. Skip forward a little bit. I'm gonna change the perspective and put it on ourselves just so you guys get the idea of what we see. Now I saw Kha'Zix, but I didn't even notice this Kled, and he just went AFK right here, and we get a free kill. That's Talia with the first blood right there. Just skip on over. I decide not to reset because it's past the 55-second mark, and I don't want to get. I'm gonna end up getting late to my buff if I try to reset and swap to a sweeper. So I just decide to start on my top side of the map. It doesn't matter too much. In this game, I do want to be pathing towards my bot lane because they're going to be gonna give me prio against this Sona and Aphelios lane here. Rel and Xayah are quite an impressive lane, and if they misstep a single time, then they can really take advantage of that. So here, I suspected that Kha'Zix started on his bot side over here because Kled showed in the top lane really early on. So I kind of deduced that he was on the bot side, pathing towards the top lane. It's a good idea for him to do that in the first place because Kled's a very strong lane that he can take advantage of. So I just decided to come down and full clear, and I'm just waiting patiently, letting my bot lane gradually slow push, have an advantage. If I'm correct and my idea is right, the Kha'Zix is pathed away from the bot lane, and they're safe, so I can safely come down and full clear my camps, and I don't have to rush ganking down bot lane here. I'm on pretty decent time for doing my full clear here, coming on to my Krugs at 3010 or 310. Smite these Krugs here, finish up around 327. I'm ready on time to fight at this Scuttle Crab, but Kha'Zix is going to be on this Scuttle Crab, and we know that for a fact because he's not here. This is the timing that a full clear would be completed, and if he's not here, then we know for a fact now. It's not just my presumption. We know that he's topside. I see him clearing this ward, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something very sneaky here. I'm going to immediately reset. And since we saw Kha'Zix on the ward, everyone is alerted and can play around this fact. My mid laner is going to play around the spot side. My top laner is going to play safe because he knows Kha'Zix somewhere around here. And I'm going to just take this opportunity to reset as fast as I can, come back on the map with my items, and be ready to do these Krugs. Now, I pathed towards the bot lane, but there is no gank opportunity presented. So this is the decision I decided to go for. Our team is very scale heavy, gangplank scale is really hard into the late game. Talia is great to play through. Probably should have considered playing around mid lane more, just because she has great setup and great damage. And she's playing against a melee champion, but I was looking at her lane and she was somehow getting poked out. This is really cool right here. They try to go for a dive top lane, and I come over. I see Kha'Zix is low, he's like 1 HP. So if I can just play this right, I don't want to show. I want to show at the last second possible. So instead of approaching through the jungle where he could see me like over here, I can hug this wall and come up on this right side. And I see like something right here, and if we look over, it's actually him right here. Let's go back to my perspective. So whenever you're aiming, this is something very specific to Vi. Whenever you're aiming from sweeper, you're not aiming at the position that you see them, because that's where they were like a few milliseconds ago. You want to aim in the direction they're heading in, which is going to be right over here. So I get the kill right here. I get the kill. Come do my drunk romp. And now I'm pathing down. I'm really good on my speed for my clearing here. If you look, I'm clearing all of my second tier camps as they spawn. And that's gonna put me nearly at level 6, which is gonna be really powerful for when I try to take this dragon. My top laner did die, but we are leaving him weak side. It's kind of expected. He kind of has to play passive. Kled is a pretty oppressive lane, especially into GP. It's kind of hard. If he lands that hook, it's kind of all over. I come over here and I'm considering maybe a dive because I saw Sono was low. But then I see Kha'Zix walking in a straight line right here. So I sweep to see if he knows I'm here or not. I start charging Q because he's walking in a straight line. Unfortunately, Talia actually scares him off. But she does cut off his escape in a way. However, if he does have E, he can jump over this wall, which is not ideal. So I'm holding Q, not showing it. My Q fizzles out, which is very unfortunate. Like, this is a situation where it'd be very nice if I got my Q refunded here, but it's just not how the game works. Well, fortunately enough, my rel and my bot lane is rotating up. And as Kha'Zix turns the corner, I'm able to get an auto range to auto E auto to get my W proc off. And rel's just amazing here. Like, this is amazing, like, roam from here. So they won the bot lane, and now a skirmish breaks out over here, and they roam. Just that early game pressure allowed us to find these kills here. And this really allowed me to start snowballing that kill right there. And right after that, I immediately start the dragon. And this dragon's gonna give me level 6, guys. I'm gonna have a whole level lead on the Kha'Zix here. I'm gonna reset most likely, and then buy a Dirk. Oh yes, I actually remember this. I decided to go for this here because I have R. Even though I don't have items bought, I have R, so I'm thinking I can invade him here. And I go for this play, and it actually works out really well in my favor. Get the kill. Fortunately, I don't get the kill on the blue. I don't get to steal the blue buff. But I kind of delayed Aphelios some CS over here. I was trying to convince Sona to steal the kill, but she's smart enough to not let that happen. When I came in turret aggro here, I did have my blast shield, so I did try to get this proc off, maybe survive. But that didn't happen. Like, it would be really cool if I could E and then flash over here out of turret range. That would be cool to escape if I managed to do that, but that's not what happened. So I come back to my top side here. And Rift is spawning. And I buy a lot of items here. I really like going this early tier. Tier early just feels really good. Because you can always just decide to build into Mirror Mana, second item if you have the stacks. And I see Kled really low up here, so instead of doing their hail, they just come up top. And I think I flashed here. No, I'm wrong. So I do actually end up flashing, but GP actually ults and allows me to connect Q by slowing him there. Really nice. So I get Q auto E and auto, and then he finishes it off with E with his Q. I actually don't mind him getting the kill there. It's not a problem at all. Getting GP ahead is like a guaranteed win. Like, you're securing the game for yourself. I always like to see GPs on my team. They usually play really well. I don't know what it is about the champion. Like, I feel like he's very difficult, but a lot of people who play him are like one-trick ponies on them. So here, Kled comes in, tries to ult. I get silence here, which is really unfortunate, and I can't move, and I end up dying. This is really bad that I give it to Kled too. It's gonna make GP's life even more miserable. But I eventually do come back and try to help him later on in the game. So I'm heading towards my bot side here. It's really unfortunate that we couldn't take control of the rift. Or I got the rift, but then we end up dying. So I start to come behind into the top side or bot side of Kha'Zix's jungle. And I'm thinking, I end up coming over here and seeing the Aphelios really low, and I just pick him off. And now we can just secure this tower. So my idea of coming and pressuring over here is just to see if Kha'Zix is here. I'm stronger than him at that point, and I have ulti. So if I run into him, I'm not afraid. So I come over here, and once I see the Aphelios low here from my bot lane, I'm able to just secure this tower. And this tower is going to give us a lot of gold. And keep in mind, whenever you get a Rift Herald and you like completely dominate a lane, you don't want to just drop the Herald right off the start. You want to hit the tower. Consider these minions as like a lifeline over here, and those minions that are getting hit by the tower is your timing for how long you should put them. I generally put the Rift Herald down after the melee minions die, but I even had another wave incoming, so I didn't even need to. The reason why it's so good to get the last plating with the Rift is because it gets more armor as well the more platings you get. So it's a lot harder to even whittle it down. So you always want to consider that. You just get a lot of value from like executing a turret with Rift Herald. If you can pull it off, definitely do it. We see Kha'Zix coming from the top side, pathing down towards the bot side. I see him like go over here towards my jungle. So we do end up kind of overstaying here. I started having like ping issues as well in this game. Like you'll see me randomly just stop and sometimes like hold Q for longer than it seems I need to. And that's mainly because of this. Like look at this. This is because of ping. You see how I just like stood still and then Q'd onto the Sona? So I was like having ping issues, but I was trying to make the best of the situation, so I just ended up killing Sona there. This volume is kind of loud. Turn it down a bit. So I end up dying, but at least go for one. And I'm able to get my first item now. I get my Eclipse. Instead of going for my camps, I see Talia trying to fight this Cho'Gath. And I come here and I make a really nice play. So Kha'Zix tries to come and kill the Talia, which baits him in under tower, so I just Q out of E. And then because he's right next to me, I can ult onto Cho'Gath, and my ult will just knock him into tower and take another tower shot. See, like he's really low right here. The tower already kills him, but it's just nice that my ultimate actually finishes him off here. Right, like that. It's so beautiful to do that play, like ulting onto someone else and letting your ult execute somebody. And Cho'Gath seems to have like a lot of HP, but he's actually quite squishy because he's going AP. This is AP Cho'Gath here. So I'm able to fight him here. And again, in between all of my auto attacks, I'm making sure I'm walking with him and trying to cut off his escape so I can maximize my DPS. So I end up getting a double kill here. If I were me right now, looking back at this, I'd probably go and invade Kha'Zix's wolves here after I do this Scuttle Crab. No, I decide to just go for my bot side camps. I think I could I definitely could have contested here, but if the bot lane came here, it could be a messy situation. I just know I'm stronger than Kha'Zix, so it's definitely something to consider. I could have invaded on his wolves here, because look, let's see. Yeah, Sona would be with him, so it's quite dangerous. Never mind, I think I did the right play. But it's always good to consider those ideas in case they're worth going over. Something could have happened, you could have made a play. I find that in the jungle right now, it really pays off being very, very aggressive or very, very reactive. It's one or the other. It's kind of hard to balance the two. You need to make sure, like, if you're being proactive, finding like picks, you need to use that gold and use that to snowball. However, you can also just play very reactive, full clear your jungle, be very safe, and just try to play for the lane and make sure one lane gets ahead and then play with that lane to win the game. They're two styles that are really, really popular. You can kind of see a battle between Dante's infamous Hecarim player and Aguirre, the rank 1 EUS player. They both have those two playstyles, and Dante's is the aggressive playstyle and Aguirre is the reactive playstyle, but they both have a really high elo and they both perform really well. They're amazing junglers. Here I'm looking for some potential dive onto this Kled. I will get a shutdown if I kill him here. It's really nice that he's this low, because GP can start off this dive and just get him really low, and then I can just finish him off with my Q auto E. If anything goes wrong, I have R and I can always flash out. Like, this is a really good time for this dive. So he knocks him off. I'll start charging Q. I land my Q auto E here. I ult him. So this is crazy. He actually healed so much because we were both here with Gore Drinker. And I thought he was going to die from my E over there. So I got really scared that he was going to remount. But I was able to kill him really quickly. And that's the power of these lucidity boots, guys. The ability haste on them is so valuable because my Q is able to come back off of cooldown after I initially engage. So those lucidity boots are very essential. They allow you to Q right after you engage and maneuver. I've recently been exploring Duskblade as a build. I see Kha'Zix here, but he can't really do anything to me. I just reset and come back on the bot side. But besides that, I've recently been exploring this Duskblade build. I think that could be very, very nice because the problem with Vi is, like, when you go in, you can kill somebody, but now you're in, it's really hard to get out. But if you have Duskblade, you can, like, reposition yourself to get another Q off. Duskblade Mirror Mana. It's really nice. Third item, I've been kind of testing out Prowler's Claw, and it's been actually nice. But you have to finish the game quick to make it work. Hero's kind of scared when Kha'Zix went invis here because I know his ISO Q can, like, just delete my HP, and he has an item right now, right? So even though, like, I'm strong, 1 Q from him is like, look at that, 534 damage. It's insane. That's like half of my HP right there. So I flash. Now I can stay in the fight. I consider diving here. Our team is pushing this tower pretty hard. And while my team is pushing, I'm looking to play, like, aggressive. I see, like, Aphelios in the top side. I'm like, maybe I can look for this red buff. And as I'm here, if Aphelios doesn't, like, respect that I just went missing, I can come and kill him here. But this is all dependent on if Aphelios decides to disregard my fact for going missing here. He does walk back, but then I see him step up again. So I'm like, okay, this is now a free kill. So I just come top lane here after I take the red buff. If he dodges my Q, I can always ult. So he flashes it, so I R him. Easy kill right here. Kled tries to TP on me. As soon as he jumps, I Q away. I always charge my Q after I finish a play, just so I can escape there. Right? That's a very important thing to do that it might not be intuitive, but you need to remember your Q. I tell people this all the time. Your Q is on such a short cooldown when you're playing Assassin Vi. You need to spam it like every single second you have because it really allows you to, like, maneuver around the map and be safe. And go for dangerous plays. Vi's Q is everything in her kit. She's all about that immediate burst. So here, I'm, like, trying to back away because I just don't think I can re-engage here. Maybe consider going on this Kled. You see that? I land the Q. I find 1 Q on somebody. And then I run away. Now, once my Q cooldown is back up, I can come back in the fight. See this Sona right here? She's disregarding me. Watch this. My Q's back up again. Immediately start charging it. I don't land it, but I land my E so I can slow her and then finish her off. The slow from the red buff and the GP ultimate was too much for her to escape. And now I have my speed. My speed from the bushes. Once I touch a bush, I'm going to be zooming. And this is the thing that I said earlier. Like, I like getting the early tier because now it's fully stacked. After I base here, I'm going to get my Mirror Mana, second item. It's very nice, guys. Consider going like an early tier if you have a little lead. It's very powerful. I didn't really consider it being that strong. Dantes runs it, and if you have like this carry playstyle where you're able to get a lot of gold and farm efficiently, then you can definitely go this high income builds. It's high income, but it's gold efficient. Very, very gold efficient. And now I can pretty much one-shot most of their team. I can one-shot Kha'Zix, Aphelios, and Sona. And I can kill Cho'Gath in about 2 rotations. So these are things I always consider. And you're about to see I take a really nice fight here. I think I kill everyone here. I land the Q onto Cho'Gath. I think I start lagging here too, unfortunately. I ult onto the Aphelios. Just wait for my Q to secure the kill so I get the triple. And Cho'Gath pings me. Yeah, I'm playing this one really well. This is how you guys take over games, by the way. The thumbnail's not a lie. Like, this is pure aggression. Every time I get a chance to make an advantage, I take it. I did mess up my Q right here, but I just wait for it to come back up instead of going around the wall. You don't want to give the enemy team space, so we're going to take over the top side of the map. The top side of the map is going to be ours. We're going to dominate it. Every single time I get a chance to like aggress on somebody, I'm going to take that opportunity because I'm really strong. I know my limits. I can play around my limits, and I can win games that way. The idea is play very risk-free in the beginning of the game. Just make sure that you're not behind in the early game. And if you get yourself established in the mid game with some picks and kills here and there, just don't give the enemy team a chance to kill you. Don't give up your shutdown. That's my main idea here. I want to be as aggressive as I can without giving up my shutdown to help the enemy team come back into the game, because they can definitely come back into the game with an Aphelios. He skills really hard. Aphelios Sonic is very scary, nothing to scoff at. So I actually saw Kha'Zix here and I was looking for him. I was confident to come over here because I saw my team was here and some of their team was scattered, so I didn't mind. I was kind of thinking of calling for Baron here, like we could force it because we're stronger. But I really have to be conscious that I have to be the one fighting. I can't be on the Baron. I'm the one with all the kills and all the resources. So for us to win the fight, I'm the one who needs to be fighting. That's why I'm hesitant to start the Baron. But you see how the enemy team feels pressured to face check us? This is what we take advantage of. And Cho'Gath here is very squishy, like I said. He's not building tank. He just has a lot of HP, so it's deceptively tanky. I flash on him, immediately kill him, because I know if I get one pick, the enemy team can't actually fight anymore. Because Clyde cannot frontline against our team. He cannot do it alone. These guys are just going to get rolled over by me if no one is able to protect them. As you can see right here. Look at this. This is a beautiful flank by Talia. Great use of her ultimate. I use my Q to close the distance. My Q comes back up. See that? I just ult right away. I think I could have saved my R there. I touched the bush to get speed, but he jumps away. He's too far gone at this point. And now I ping for Baron. See right there? That was actually a little bit of lag there. I intended to release that Q a lot sooner. It's really unfortunate that I was having ping issues. It was really annoying, but I managed to make it work. I even consider fighting this guy here, but I don't want to stay for too long, just because I know that their team is going to be back. When I see that I can land Q on him, though, in the jungle, I'm confident because I have the bushes. I have my Rel right beside me. I can Q auto E and then run away, and he's going to be less inclined to follow me and try to fight. I'm really just looking to steal these camps here, and I do get it. And I end up killing the clan here. He actually flashes away from my Q. I was hesitant to Q on because I wanted to make sure they actually connected. I thought my Q was going to connect there, but my auto E was enough to nearly kill him, and then I just killed Aphelios right here. Now I'm using my Q to go over this wall, but I make the wrong turn. I should have like gone over here. I could have gone through their base, right? And then escaped like coming through this portal. I could have come through this portal and just like made them chase me around. I could have even potentially killed the Cho'Gath and the Sona if I played it right. That's something I need to improve. Like I need to consider some more opportunities when I'm trying to escape people. Like, I go through the breakdown of my students, but I can also improve on my escapes as well. You're gonna find like you get to go through these little fun periods where you get to run away from and fight a lot in dangerous lines. But that's the really fun and cool thing about Vi Assassin. Like, you get to go in and out, and like, people don't really realize how fast you are because of they don't think about how low cooldown your Q is. Unfortunately, we do go down here. I was a little bit greedy trying to go for that play, but Xayah does come in the bot lane. She has the Baron buff, and she's pushing this bot tower. Cho'Gath does TP, but Xayah is stronger than him, so he's got to be really careful against her. He actually catches him off guard here and nearly kills him. And the tip of her R, max range, kills him there. Kled comes down and kills her, unfortunately. She doesn't have any more peel after she uses her R there, so it's an easy kill for Kled. Now, dragon is up. I'm not too worried if we don't get this dragon, but if we're capable, I'm definitely going to go for it. You can see here, I'm pathing over here, and I'm pinging. People are pinging to come for it. So I go on to the Kled first. And the reason why I do this is because the rest of their team backs away and abandons him. So if I see an isolated target, I can definitely go for the front line. Just because I tell you guys to be looking for these flanks and trying to find the carries, consider the enemy team's positioning. If the backline abandons the front line, you can just go in and kill the front line. That Gore Drinker is nasty, but the damage I deal is significant. That's one auto E that like takes 1000 damage right there, because he had a Tempting Blows proc. I was very surprised to see that he didn't die and actually gets remounted here, which is very unfortunate. I Q onto him a second time, and I R to Sona, hoping that my ultimate would stay over his body as he came back and kill him. But the GP actually gets the kill, and then I just kill Sona after here. And remember, find the Q. Right now, I don't have Q to fight, so what am I going to do? I'm going to run away here. I'm looking for Q. GP gets a huge crit on Aphelios here. Actually, just straight kills him, so I don't even have to worry about that. Like I said, GP scales really hard in the late game. Giving him that early kill, no problems with that. Look at that. He only has 2 items, and he's able to do this. At this point, I have 19 kills. 19, 4, and 4. We secure this dragon. I come over here into the enemy Kha'Zix's jungle, and I'm just taking everything I can from him, really. I'm trying to put pressure on the enemy team. I'm not letting them step up. If they step up and overextend, I'm going to be there to punish them. I'm going to take all the resources away from them in the jungle. I'm clearing his blue buff here. I do have to be cautious, like, if they do, like, for some reason come as 5 people and just run through the jungle, I can get caught. Or Kled ulti can also catch me out. But if I'm in the jungle, it's a lot safer because I always have the bushes as safety because they give me speed boosts. People just cannot follow me. The only person who can follow me is the Kha'Zix, who also has a speed boost. But if I'm stronger than him, it doesn't really matter. Because I can always just turn and one-shot him. So here I'm thinking Kha'Zix overextended, so I just come over here. Land my Q out of E. I cancel my R. I don't want him to escape, so I just end up using R here. I didn't know which way he went. I got him range, ult him here, and now he dies. It's actually really nice that his death got delayed, because that means he's going to be out of commission for longer. More time to push, more time to set up aggressive angles on the enemy team. If you ever get the opportunity to kill somebody, delay it as long as possible in the late game for the maximum efficiency, because you get more time to abuse the fact that they're dead, right? There's not much going on the map right now. I see Talia's pushing mid, they're pushing bot, and the biggest gap here is the top lane, so I'm coming around the top lane. I also don't mind playing with my GP, considering he's really strong right now. We see them in the bot lane, and if they ever decide to commit, my bot lane can just pull away, and then we can just take this tower. they're not really thinking like that. Like if they were top tier players, they'd be thinking like that, but they're not. They decide to take the fight anyways, and Xayah goes down. However, we still are able to like work on the idea of pushing these waves in and getting these towers. Like GP gets top tower here, and I'm not afraid to fight here. I need to find a good angle. You see, I'm not gonna go in onto the Kled if I see his teamers right next to him. I always pick my fights wisely, which is a very important skill to have on Vi. Come over here. Maybe looking to see the Kled. You see, he is alone right now. He broke off from his team. And remember what I said? The second they break off from their team, that is your opportunity, guys. Look, you have a point-and-click ultimate, right? If you can find people alone, that is your chance. 1R can confirm people dead sometimes. And against Kled, I have to land Q first, but it's still pretty good. Like landing Q to find on a bruiser here. I actually start off with auto E. This is interesting because I want to get the slow off, and I pull away from his latch. I'm gonna touch this bush and come really fast at him with my Q. Watch this. Or I didn't even touch the bush. I just came right back around. I think it would have been kind of redundant to go this far back, so I just stay in range with my Q and then Q him. The Talia actually pushed him back right here, so I missed the Q, but it's okay. He's kind of stuck here, and I just E him and he's dead. And that's going to be the catalyst for us to push onto these next towers, or this mid tower and the top tower. I see Kha'Zix here. I flash auto E, R onto him, auto E, and look, as soon as I kill him, I just run away back to my team. It looks like they decided to retreat too. I didn't go for anything crazy. And look at that. Both these people are dead because of me. I'm making the plays. I'm finding the people that I can exploit by their bad positioning, right? If they misstep a single time, that's on me for me to punish. So we come up here. Now that they're down 2 players, they can't really stop us from pushing mid lane. So we just come down and take this tower. They have to really back off because I can just completely dive them here and kill them. Also, guys, this build is not that squishy. Like, as you can see, I'm 2800 HP right now. Once you build this Edge of Night with the extra 325 HP and that spell shield, it's really nice. Like, it's allows you to stay quite relevant in the late game and not like completely die, even as playing as an assassin. Gives you that extra lethality as well to like really blow up those unarmored targets. If I lay a hand on this Aphelios, he's just gonna blow up. I'm 22-4-4 at this point. Reset, coming back over. The dragon is about to spawn. We're really ahead now. This game is pretty much just gonna get closed out really cleanly. We're at 60k, they're at 48k. I shove out the bot lane, try to get prio for the dragon here. If you don't know what to build on your last item, always consider Hydra. It's a very nice late game item on Vi. I build it sometimes when I'm really ahead, like in this game. So if I do go on multiple targets, I'm hitting splash damage on everybody. It's really nice. It's also great sustain as well. The jungle has really good sustain regardless. We see Kha'Zix topside here, so it's a free dragon at any point we want. I see Aphelios come up here. He ults, but I do get ulted by the Sona, so I can't follow up on my combo. So instead of continuing to fight, I move back. She actually canceled my Q, so my Q got put on cooldown there when she ulted me. I kind of juke that I'm gonna go in. I think I go in here. Yeah, I Q auto E and Xayah hits an auto attack and he blows up, like literally blows up. His HP is nowhere to be seen. I'm still quite tanky. See, I can take a beating. I survive. I survived the onslaught of 3 players there. It was quite dangerous. I probably didn't need to do that. Then we see this sneaky guy over here. Sneaky guy. He's on the blue ward, the control ward here, and he tries to fight me. Who do you guys think wins this fight? If you had to guess, who do you Who do you think wins this fight here? Who wins this fight? 809 HP Vi versus full HP Kha'Zix here. Who do you think wins? Just take a look. And that's why we take Electrocute, right? You see, why take Halo Blades when you could just do that? 1Q auto E. Dead. It's amazing, guys. I'm telling you. So here we're coming through. I see we push out the bot side, but we don't have any other lanes that are pushing. So I decided to come here and bring the mid lane to, or the mid wave to the mid tower. I could decide to siege here, but Vias really sucks at sieging. So if you ever get the chance, you can always just decide to split push instead. It's very efficient, allows you to spread your Baron buff in multiple places. That, by the way, was lag. I was lagging the entire game, this game. I was not joking about that. So, I'm sorry, I apologize for the wonkiness of my gameplay. I was lagging really hard. I don't know what it was either. Like, my internet's really decent. It was just I even wanted to just stream this day. I was considering doing that, but fortunately, my internet said no. You're not allowed to do that. So again, I'm positioning myself very, very aggressively. You see this Kha'Zix stepping up here? This is not okay. I can punish this. The second he steps up, I can come down and ult him and he's gonna die. The crazy thing is with Vi, when you're full build, you can Q to get in range to R, and then your Q is back on cooldown as you finish ulting. It's really nasty, guys. Very, very nasty. So your range to actually ult onto somebody is a lot longer than people think it is. In the early game, you cannot follow up the damage, but in the late game, when you have how much ability haste do I have? Doesn't show. 128 ability haste. Come on, guys. Come on. When you have that much ability haste, you can just chain your ults every single time you go for it, no matter if you use Q right before or not. So see here, I have to be very careful. I have to be very selective when I go for sieges. So I'm really just opting to shove in the wave so I can get closer and maybe find an angle. But I decided not to rush it. We have 3 inhibs here. I'm really low resource. It's a long game. I feel like we could have ended a little sooner. I see Kha'Zix like sitting right here. He's kind of playing a little wonky. I think he's a little tilted. So I find a little pick on him there with using my sweeper. And again, guys, this is another benefit of Mirror Mana. Vi is a very mana hungry champion in the late game. When you play these Conqueror builds, guys, you run into mana fast. You can take one fight and then you're out of mana and you cannot fight again. This is another benefit of having that this Mirror Mana in your build. The mana in the late game really does matter. Most people count it out. They think, Mirror Mana, why would you buy that item? But really, it's very, very gold efficient. It's very nice. So here, again, the wave that is not shoved in is the top side. So I'm going to push in that top side. I'm going to go into the most dangerous part of the map as the strongest person on my team. We come to the top side. I'm charging Q just for pressure. I don't want to let my spell shield get popped, so I Q away from Cho'Gath here. So this guy tries to like flash in on the Talia here, but she's not even a priority target. And again, I'm lagging, just sitting here, not moving. I finally start charging Q. I flash because I want to make sure I can confirm my Q, because again, I'm lagging, guys. I'm not kidding when I'm saying I'm lagging this entire game. I find the Sona though, and then I ult onto, I think, the Cho'Gath here? No, I ult the Kha'Zix. As you can see, as my ult finishes, my Q is back off of cooldown, because my Q is a 2.64 second cooldown right now, guys. 2.64 crazy. Look at that number. It's very low. And then I killed the Sophilios here. And I killed the Cho'Gath. And Talia, she takes 2 of the kills, and I'm kind of disappointed because I could have gotten a Penta that game. But hopefully you guys learned something about the aggression here. When you have a lead, you want to sit in the enemy jungler, their jungle, and just take over all the resources and pretty much put pressure on them whenever you can. You want to take calculated aggression again, though. You don't want to just rush in and die. You want to make sure you know you're stronger than the enemy jungler and you're not going to get collapsed on by the enemy team. And then you can take advantage and put like snowball games like I did in this game. Hopefully you guys learned something, and this is going to be Klassicalkill out.